Hello and welcome to another Arkeys video and to a new time trial on Gran Turismo 7. We are at Watkins Glen, the full course, and we are in the Group 4 cars. We can choose any Group 4 car we like, and this is roughly 24 hours after this one went live. This is Friday morning and I am giving this my first go and my first impressions. I had already heard the rumors that this is one of the easier time trials we've had. So let's see how long it takes me to get a decent result in this one. Let's get straight into it. So you can see this is fairly early in the morning. We're jumping straight into sport mode, where I am collecting my 2 million prize for the Le Mans challenge in the Group 1 cars. That was a tough one for me, so I was lucky to hang on to the gold. But enough about that one, we're jumping into this one. And this is my first attempt to do a lap, braking around the 300 board. So I am sneaking around turn 1, and as we enter the bus stop chicane, oh yeah, I'm getting this all sorts of wrong and have to pay for it. So we'll just have to try again to get a first lap in, keeping an eye out for the 300 board. I am running wide into turn 1, that's not going to help me. Up the long hill towards the bus stop chicane, getting as close to the wall as I dare, and yeah, make sure I don't pick up a penalty. Unfortunately, I also run a bit too wide through this long right-hander. I had to get out of the throttle, so that lost me some time. Looking out for the 200 board, make sure you don't run wide into this one. Aiming for a late apex so you can get on the power towards this uphill right-hander. This can be a tricky one, especially in Group 3 cars. This is a bit more easy. I am going on that curb. Don't do that, that will just make you slide. Coming around this corner as well, I am coming in too deep, have to get out of the gas once again, and yet another late apex corner, which just ended up being a miss the apex corner for me. Only need to lift, I might be braking a bit this time. And yeah, still didn't make a good job of that one. And also the final corner, you'd be surprised how early you have to get on the brake and turn in to not mess that one up. But we get across the line in a 156.593, and we just keep going. I run wide, and you guessed it, I pick up another penalty. We are serving that one, and we kept going, and eventually we got down to a 155.69. So we are just stopping for now, and let's have a look. I actually managed to get gold, at least for that Friday morning, within 10 minutes. So this is definitely easier than some of the time trials we have had recently. I'm picking up some penalties, but we try again. You can see I put the ghost on now. We are coming through turn 1, just let the car roll in so you can get early on the power. You can see the ghost is really maximizing the track limits, getting as close to the wall as possible. Unfortunately, I run a bit too wide to the right, so that gives me not the best exit of the bus stop. Here I'm just trying to keep it tight, looking out for the I Love New York sign. Almost picking up a track limit penalty on the exit, keeping an eye out for the 200 board, and just powering up towards the uphill right-hand corner, braking roughly between the two last signs on the left, and don't get too close to the curb on the inside this time, so that will definitely be better. I almost turned in a bit too early, so that will compromise my exit. You can see the ghost is running away from me a little bit, and I'm also coming in a bit too slow into this corner. You still have to try to get a sort of late apex on that one, but we are coming through the final corners, just lifting a bit for this one. And for the final right-hander, once the barrier goes to the more shiny bit, I'm braking a bit and turning in, and that sort of is my reference for the final corner. We are going across the line in a 154.895, and 20 minutes into this time trial, We are still chopping off some time, but we continue a bit more. I'm getting down to a 0.825, and as we carry on a bit, I think we're getting down to a 54.5, and now we are roughly half an hour into this time trial, and I didn't have much time left to try this morning. So this was my final attempt and my best attempt so far. Coming into turn 1, using the 300 board as a reference, and just make sure not running wide. And we are just staying on board this time, coming up the hill. These sweeping corners, they feel so nice. When you are alone on the track, they can be a bit scary when you're going side by side with other drivers. And we are coming up towards the bus stop. I am using the 400 board as a reference. I'm trying to be soft on the brake and stay a bit on the brake so I keep control over the car. Using as much of the curbs as I dare, keeping an eye out for the I Love New York sign to get onto the power. The 200 board, coming into this corner, make sure I don't run too deep. And as we come up to this corner, keeping an eye out for the 2 boards on my left, with braking between those 2. And this time I'm running really wide, so I'm actually losing quite some time in this corner. So there is definitely some improvement there. There's definitely some improvement a lot of places, but that was a significant one. The 200 board, roughly for this one, make sure you don't run wide. That's easy on that corner. Can we do this corner better this time? Just a bit of second gear just to get the car turned around, back up to third. Maybe just lifting for this one. I cannot remember if I'm maybe touching the brake a bit. And once again, shiny bit of the barrier, braking a bit, and turning in, getting back on the power, and we are getting across the line in a 154.269. So that was my best attempt, roughly 40 minutes into this one. This is definitely a doable time trial for a lot of people, I'm sure. It's a fun one, and I am sure you can use a lot of different cars to get the gold in this one. I hope you found this video entertaining, maybe even somewhat useful. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye.